For once, we are on the cutting edge of a travel trend that has taken over the internet.
Go on.
It's called raw dogging flights.
We were raw dogging long before raw dogging was cool.
You just gonna sit there staring at the back of the seat?
Wait, what is raw dogging again?
Raw dogging is a new trend where when you're on a flight and you just sit there and you don't do a thing except for stare at the maps.
I mean, dude, being in altitude at 30K feet, it's a gift from the universe to just dog your thoughts, dude. I like to sit there, look at that map channel, great progress, and do high stakes thinking in altitude.
Why is it just guys doing it?
I don't know that part, but the only thing I can think of is that they are trying to one-up each other with their records.
The concept seems impossible, especially in this era of tablets and TVs, smartphones and headphones.
Okay, so the rule is like this. I can have the flight map up on the monitor in front of me, but that's it.
But stick around, we are challenging ourselves to raw dog the longest flight in the entire world, nearly 19 hours in this episode of Window Seat. All right, let the record reflect. We had this idea long before these TikTokers did.
Take a 15-hour flight across the world, no music, no movies, raw dogging.
Rewind to October of last year, months before the so-called Raw Dog Challenge went viral. I was already planning a trip on the longest flight in the world, Singapore Airlines Flight 23, nonstop from JFK to Singapore. This flight is so long, I departed on a Monday and didn't get to Singapore until Wednesday. It's nuts.
The flight actually covers almost 10,000 miles in the air. Total flight time just shy of 19 hours, making it the longest commercial airline flight in the entire world, and it has been since the year 2021. And get this, the airline also has a nonstop from Newark to Singapore, but it is 2 miles shorter than this one, thus, it does not get the title. I gotta be honest with you, I fly quite a bit. I don't think I've ever been more excited about getting on an airplane than I am on this one right now.
I'd always wanted to say I'd flown on the longest flight in the world, but for the purposes of making my YouTube video a little more interesting, I wanted to challenge myself even more. So I booked what I deemed to be the very worst seat on the plane. Very back row of economy, middle seat, right next to the smelly bathrooms. And I wanted to take it up a notch from there. So while waiting in the gate area at JFK, I came up with another idea. What if I did the entire flight with zero technology?
Okay, so the rule is like this. I can have the flight map up on the monitor in front of me, but that's it. No music, no movies, no TV shows, no other entertainment, just the flight map. That's it. I will have my noise-canceling headphones, but I won't listen to anything. I will just try and quiet the sounds of that big old airplane. Those are the rules.
Little did I know this idea would become a viral sensation a few months later. Heck, for all I know, my experience gave birth to the entire movement. Although that's highly unlikely. Anyway, if you want to see more from that first video, click the link in the upper right corner of your screen right there. All right, time to see if we can pull this raw dog off. I meander past all the seats in the expensive cabin and make my way to the very, very, very back of the plane. Here it is, my home for the next 19 hours. First thing I notice is they give you a very nice pair of headphones to make your travel experience more enjoyable. And headphones are the one luxury I afford myself, but just to cancel out the noise. I'm not going to listen to any music, not going to get on Wi-Fi with my phone, and I'm not going to watch anything from the vast media library available on my seat back screen. I'm just going to stare at this map for the next 19 hours. Since we got a little time to kill here, a bit more on that whole raw dog thing. As the New York Times so aptly pointed out a couple of weeks ago when they wrote about this phenomenon, the term for these technology-free flights has vulgar roots, but it has been modified to describe pretty much any activity you can do without a buffer. You can raw dog the flu by not taking medicine, you can raw dog cooking by not using a recipe, and you can raw dog an ultra-long flight by not using technology. It may be TikToker Torn Foot who took the term to a whole new level when describing his tech-free 15-hour flight. His video has more than 11 million views and led to the birth of this travel challenge.
You want something to read?
No.
That is if you don't give credit to David Putty first.
You're just gonna sit there staring at the back of the seat?
Well, the exact opposite of what pretty much every traveler does these days, experts say flyers who raw dog may actually be onto something. Research shows turning off your mind and taking breaks from screens can help you learn new skills, improve your sleep, and be more creative. That was not at all the goal on this flight. I had no expectation of learning new skills or being more creative. I was hoping to sleep, which I know raw dog purists will say is not allowed, and I was hoping to truly challenge myself to not entertain myself. But there's just one problem I noticed. While I can control what's on my own TV screen, I have no control over what others are watching, and I defy you to not let your eye wander even just a little bit. It's human nature, it's habit, and it's impossible to avoid. I mean, who doesn't love this movie that guy's watching? And wait, what's that guy watching over there? But I quickly divert my eyes back to my map. It's my only friend as we fly off into the long, cold night somewhere over the Arctic. I won't bore you with 19 hours of flight time, but here's a little status update from the bathroom.
Usually don't come to you from an airplane bathroom, but it's the only place that I can talk without disrupting the other travelers. Right now it's just after midnight. We're about an hour and a half into this flight. Just another, 17 hours to go.
All right, now here again, I may have deviated from the strictest interpretation of the rules, but hey, I'm a weak mortal human. What can I say? Purists would tell you a true raw dogger would never eat or drink, even water, on a flight like this. But it's a 19-hour flight, and they serve like 3 meals, and I had to do it, so I did. Now, some folks are really strict about this. They won't even move their chairs. No reclining, fully upright. Again, no headphones even. Not even just to cancel out the noise. They are determined to rely fully on the power of the mind. But remember, I did this back in October before the fun police got involved and set up all these rules. All right, flight's still going, and the map is starting to reveal the names of even stranger and more far-flung places than I've ever seen before, which means I must be approaching the other side of the world. So far, I'm feeling just fine. Here's another bathroom status update.
So far, so good. It is a little dispiriting to see that you still have 8 or 9 hours left on a flight. That's a long time. But that's sort of the purpose, was to see what it's like to experience the longest flight in the world. It certainly feels long.
But not everyone fares so well. This woman raw-dogged a 3-hour flight and said when it was all over, "As I left the plane, dazed, furious, and delirious, I waited for my symptoms to subside. Eventually, the ringing in my ears stopped and my stomach ache faded when I ate some food. Unfortunately, nothing could be done to fix my mood. I left the airport and got on the train home. The minute I sat down, I burst into tears, angry, salty tears. I couldn't put my anger into words, which made it worse. Why on earth did I just do that?" The fury was by far the worst part of the entire experience and the hardest symptom to shake off. Guess we are pretty addicted to those devices, aren't we? But not me. I'm addicted to that flight map, which shows we have just made it. Arrival in Singapore. I have just survived a world record raw dog, and as I exit this ultra long-haul airplane, I can't help but bask in the satisfaction of knowing that I may have started a viral travel trend without even knowing it.
So I did it. Longest flight in the world, worst seat on the plane, no technology, and it was a piece of cake. Great experience, really wonderful. Glad I did it. Pretty amazing.
So what do you think? Could you raw dog a flight as well? What's the very longest you could go without logging on to one of your devices, listening to Spotify, watching a movie on that seat back chair? Or is the concept just too stupid to comprehend? Let us know in the comments below. Also, did I cheat by eating and napping? Curious to know your thoughts on that. That's it for this episode of Window Seat. If you'd be so kind, we'd love it if you liked and shared the video. And again, leave a comment. And better yet, we'd owe you big time if you click subscribe so we can share our travels as we attempt to visit every country on the planet. We are well over 70 countries right now, with many more coming soon. We'll have them for you right here. And we are back with a brand new episode of Window Seat next Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. In the meantime, please check out one of these other episodes from Window Seat.